Good evening, humans. How you doing? I just want to have a little talk. I gotta turn off my air conditioner. I just had a few thoughts I wanted to collect before I continue reading from the book. So this is like an intermission, and it's probably going to go in the playlist. But one thing I'm learning about reading that I need to practice on is a book like this, an educational book. I suppose it's just not meant to be read straight through, which would imply like the audience is totally keeping up. And the fact is that my reading it, there's so many places where I'm losing continuity. So I think that the way a book like that should probably be read for values sake is, for me, is it supposed to be read and discussed in transit. So I'm making one error by trying to speed run this book and get it in before I go on vacation, and therefore not only is it not likely to get watched anyhow, but it's not likely to be worth watching if I continue the same way that I'm going. So from number 5 forward, we're going to try a new method of reading and then discussing what we read or clarifying what we read. So it'll be step, back step, step, back step. That way I'm not just wall of informationing. I'll be able to give the reader the opportunity to digest what has been read. So, my bad. I'm learning how to be a YouTuber, you know. Let's see, what else do I have to say? The reading that I did do yesterday has, actually the readings I've been doing have, I had a psychological bad hair day today. Just fighting with depression because of the teeny little thought, oh, nobody likes me, nobody loves me, nobody this, nobody that. Obviously I don't feel like addressing such thoughts at this time because they're not coming out genuinely at the moment. So forget about it. I'm trying to get back to what I'm getting to. What I'm getting to, I wanted to preface with a quote from Confucius, where he says, you shouldn't concern yourself with being unknown, but rather concern yourself with with being worthy to be known. And I was thinking of a quote that maybe a trigger or a connection in my life, where I heard somebody somewhere said that, like, the worst thing in the world is a love-starved Sagittarius. I'm totally that, you know. I didn't come from a family that believed in supporting me. And giving me feedback, helping. I didn't have that. I still don't seem to have that. You know, it's like nobody gives a damn about anything that I'm finding important to my life. So being the odd man out, but then looking and saying, no, I don't want to be in the crowd either. I mean, so a couple days ago I wanted to explain to my granddaughter that I was a hermit, um, just somebody who stepped back and stepped out of the world. And then I thought all day today about how I would just love to tell my life story. And in a way I am. All these books, all the thoughts that I would share, and all the thoughts that you might consider would be my consciousness, would be sharing my life story, because it all comes together. Everything that you're exposed to comes together to create who you are, and by what basis you describe things to yourself. I was thinking about the brainwashing mechanisms, such as the isolation, the groupthink, the activities that we just went over, and I was making myself laugh because I was thinking of, what if they tried to, if I could withhold terrible things, could I have this attitude? Oh, yay! It's time for the torture sessions again. Ooh, I hope today's the day I convert. Some kind of real sarcastic attitude would totally give the men morale, right? And you'd have to be an utter lunatic to be able to have such an attitude. And your reward would probably not be survival. It would probably be a bullet. Because they sure as hell don't want you to have the ability to laugh and cause the men to find sanity in their situation. Isn't it just horrible that if you want to change the world, you have to do menticide on the subjects? You want the world to work out? All the leaders get together and decide, well, the only way it's going to work out is if we stop the people from thinking. Yes, that'll do it. That'll save the world. And it just really boggles my mind. And I read this book, and then I can see it's true. The long march through the institutions that Karl Marx always talked about has happened. And here we are. Nobody can think. Nobody knows how to have a conversation. Everybody thinks that education is feeding their head, not nourishing their brain. Collectivism over individualism. Oh, let's pick that one apart. Well, here's what collectivism's got you. A bunch of people who just don't think anything through and will be led to any kind of clown world situation. Because we gave up families, we gave up education. Oh, we don't need no god darn history and math standards from the darn 40s. We don't need to teach people how to think. All of our tests are multiple choice. The easiest test function. Even the brighter persons can read, know their subject, and they answer the question on the test. All you got to do is go, yeah, I read that before. And rule out the ridiculous ones. There you go. There's your answer. I think most of the time the tests, who cares what I think? I'm just saying that We live in a dumbed down society. Period. We are not trained to think or discuss. At least here we have evidence right back in the 80s. And I must apologize for misgendering this woman. It is Denise Wynn who compiled this research and organized it in a very good way to teach us how to be a little more aware. There used to be a commercial for dish soap, Palmolive dish soap, and the subject of the commercial was a lady going in to get a manicure, and she's talking about housekeeping, and she's talking about how her hands are so rough and dry, and blah 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 blah, right? And the manicurist says, I know exactly where to find something to help with your dry skin. You're soaking in it. At any rate, that you're soaking in it was the catchphrase. Oh boy, did I butcher that. I was supposed to butcher it because this was supposed to be a blog plug. As well as a change in direction on the reading. No, and I've been depressed because I exposed my heart to my daughter, and I can just sit here and think about the fact that, I don't really have any views, and I don't really get contacted much. Sort of like we make the excuse for each other that Facebook is communication, when it's not. So basically, I do understand that I am about to tell the life story, a life story, and a life story of one in recovery from these depressions and all that, and it's all going to be one-sided. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Forget my vow of not self-promotion. Because I feel lonely, because I don't feel validated, because I don't feel relatable. Although I am. Part of my depression also has to deal with the fact that I have so much guilt, feeling, shame, the regret of just being too damned human to have been able to live up to my desires. None of us start out thinking, ooh, I want to have a child and see how badly I can screw them up. We're all screwed up. Even when you're trying to be healthy. I'm trying to be healthy, and yet can't really function in the regular world where nobody wants to be known, nobody wants to talk about anything, nobody knows how to connect. When those are the basic human needs, why am I seeking to be healed, if not to avail myself to human connection? But the world is insane. Those things aren't important. I wish that in this moment I had the ability to speak. I don't know. It's just I'm alone. I like being alone. I can't decide whether it's vanity to want to be known. Maybe we're not supposed to know anybody. Anyway, I told you, I'm having an existential funk. Too much introspection is bad for you. Stop it, okay? Existential funk time's not a good time. I'm gonna look up something. Why does it keep changing color on me? I really hate that. Default. Thank you. Alright, let's keep it that way. What we're looking up? Oh, a shameless blog plug. I want to read a writing I wrote that kind of helps bring out this, the first up to now of our reading. And so we're going to look up Insane Zen Mistress. Oh, I can't even spell. Huh. N-S-A-N-E. My typing has gone so bad. Okay, Insane Mistress, let's see. God knows. Mental preparation. Go. The title of the blog is How Far Will Mental Preparation Go? And it doesn't look like I'm showing up in my own web search. How dare you? Alright. Blogspot. Come on now, find me. Ugh. It's not loving me. Show results with mistress in it, you dork. Oh, I can't be found? I can't be found? You hate me that much? Well, I gotta work around, doo-da, doo-da. You ain't got to go too far. All I gotta do is this. Go to my YouTube channel. Find my link right under my channel description. Choose View as Website for the easiest way, which I don't know if I've got the ability to figure that out today. So that means I get to look. You see? Well, no, you don't see. Well, I get to scroll to. Oh shit. Oh, view web version. Yay! That makes my life a lot easier. Because what I'm looking for is in like 2009. Yes, this blog goes back forever and ever and ever. Yep, it goes all the way back to 2009. How far can mental preparation go? And I wrote this while I was reading this book in 2009. Ready? A POW held one word and one bit of sanity during their internments. In fact, long after he forgot his name and no longer thought in English, there was one word that was primal to them, an anchor to all things right. Do you have an idea what that word was? Home. The word can be different for different people. Home doesn't always bring back good memories, you know. Point is, we all have a word that symbolizes what is right and good for us. For some, the word is youth, or normal. Normal is real, and the ideal we've known or glimpsed of something that operated differently than it does now. Confused? Suppose we are in a FEMA camp. We have been tormented, starved, heavily indoctrinated. Normal would be free thought, provision, and work, and freedom of movement. Normal, or home, was the reminder that their current reality was false. I believe that faith held them together, not dogma, but hoping and knowing that this was not the way things and people really are, or should be. that it wasn't always like this. This is not normal. I wonder if by keeping home in realization, one could distance themselves from the present torments and observe them. Make humor to oneself about how comical their captors and oppressors are. How futile, even for themselves, the ideology for which they beat and sear your brain. I wonder if, perhaps, one could keep sanity by finding a private humor in the conditioned behavior of her cellmates. While remembering normal, how predictable are the systematic camp methods to mind control through rewards, harassment, isolation, manufactured paranoia? Besides, would isolation really be such a terrible thing? Most every experience they put you through is designed to induce fear, anxiety, coercion. What if you distanced yourself in your own way before they make you into a shell their way? They want to humiliate you before others and cause them to socially punish you. But what if you are already liberated from the need for social approval? And in realizing normal, you can understand that even this prison society's opinions aren't even their own. Could one maintain sanity by making unmeaningful the events in a place that is not normal? There are, I guess, 6 ways out of the situation. Conform via your fear, pain, and mind loss, menticide. Conform your way through mindful self-preservation, merely survive, revolt, be liberated from the outside, and die. In the event of facing death, if you can, try to make the very most out of life to be sure you have lived free, even if only your mind is under your command. Anyway, once normal returns, supposing a liberation from the FEMA camp, a person who survived in such a way might be stuck in that place. By then his idea of home or normal is itself unreal, as he has had to elaborate dramatically in order to hold on to it. He is also liable to resent dramatically anything he feels to be manipulative of his freedom, space, and thought movement, as normal is freedom, opposite of oppression. He feels entitled to normal. Well, I've been pondering thoughts of the like above, how someone could keep sanity through chaos. Military people sometimes train for POW life. They learn all about the philosophy of brainwashing, how to survive with nothing, 101 uses for fingernails, and the physical training to withstand against torture. But civilians can only prepare so much. I can study. I can prepare in mind to an extent. Well, here's the thing. When I was mentally preparing for Army basic training, I watched the first half of Full Metal Jacket over and over again. I set myself up that basic training would be that tough. Could I make it? Would I be pile? Well, luckily for me, basic training was like summer camp, a really long ROTC class, and it was nothing like I expected. Perhaps one could maintain sanity in a FEMA camp by mental preparation for the worst, an easy, conscious adjustment should it turn out not so bad. Cheers to optimism. Okay, that's enough of a sample of my wit. The whole blog is good. Go check it out.